In this video, we're going to go over the touchscreen operation for the ZM-R730A BGA Rework station. So we're going to start from scratch. We're going to turn the machine on and wait for it to boot up. We'll select our language, which is English, and then if we're going to go operation, that's for operators that are not allowed to change any of the settings. If we want to program settings, change factory settings, set up profiles, we have to go to the setup screen, and the default password that it comes with is 4 8s. 8. 4 8s. That's okay. Okay, so we're at our main screen. What we have here on the screen is it tells us what our head position is set at and what the current position is. So when the head is all the way up, it's at 0. Right now it's set for 190, so when it goes down, it won't go down any further than 190 millimeters from top to bottom. This is the current profile I have in here. It's called connector. And then these are my commands. I have start, stop, constant. So I'm running a profile and I'm getting to the end of the profile and it's going to time out. And I want to abort the time and I want it to run longer, I can press constant. And that'll allow the machine to run longer in case I need the heat to run longer when I'm doing different profiles. And then I'll have to manually stop it when I want it to stop. So basically what constant does is it overrides the automatic ending of the software. Laser on, that's for the laser pointer. Our temp settings, so if we want to go and make a profile, we'll go into temp settings. And here we have our profile name, and we have our different commands. Whenever we make a profile, we have to put in what the depth, depth is from the top of the machine to the component. So what I'll do is I'll run my pickup tube to touch the top of the component, and then I'll get my reading. And you need to put your z-axis reading. So that's going to tell the machine when it stops, so it doesn't go down too far and run into the board. We have to put in our BGA size. So if we're going to use the upper nest and have it pick up from the upper nest, we have to put the size in so it knows the XY position of that chip and where to pick it up on center. We can put our cooling time, and then we can put our alarm time, and then we like advanced alarm time. So normally I just keep these always at 1 or 2. The z-axis is going to be dependent on the thickness of your board and your component. Normally it's going to be about 180 to 190. So if I want to create a profile, whenever I create a profile, I'll save the settings in the library. I'll confirm that I want to save them, and then I'll load those settings. So every time I make a new profile, I have to save it, and if I'm going to use it, I have to load it into the program, otherwise it'll just keep running the old profile. So we always have to make sure we load it. Back to our temp settings again. We can delete profiles. If we want to change the profile, we'll go to view the database, and we can. These are the profiles I have in here right now, so I can select lead free, hit load, and now I selected my profile. So now that I selected my profile, I also have to load it so that it goes into the queue. Otherwise, it's going to. If I go to use the operations, it might run the old profile if I didn't load the new one in it. So now that it's loaded, I can go back, and I have my menu operation, my temp menu, and my commands. So for right now, I'm just going to jump down here to the mount commands. So you have mount commands. If I use mount, it's going to pick up the component from the upper nest. If I want it to pick up the component from the circuit board, I can go to my menu operation. I'm sorry, not my menu. I go to my temp menu, and I can put select function. And I can turn my feeder off. So if I want to pick up my component from the upper nest, I'll have my feed on. But if I say, oh, I'm not going to use the upper nest, I'm going to pick it up right from the board, I'm going to set the component on the board, then I would turn my feed off. Likewise, if the feed is off, it's not going to set the component in the upper nest at the end of the profile. It's just going to pick it up. My optical alignment, that's when the camera comes out and allows you to center the component into the board and look at everything on center, you can turn your optical alignment on or off. There's reasons you may want to do that. But right now, under normal operation, I have them both on. So, under my manual operation, these are all my controls I can turn manually. I can turn the head left, right manually, front to back manually, up to down. I could rotate my chip manually. I can turn on my ring lights, my laser lights, my zoom. So basically you can operate everything manually. If for some reason you want to do things manually, you can just use the manual controls. You have low speed and high speed, and the low speed and high speed only affects the Z-axis and the R-axis. It does not affect the X and Y. Those are one speed. Let's go back here. So those are all our speeds. We can, if for some reason the up-down speeds or the in-out speeds, the movements of the motors are too fast for you, you can contact me. There is a factory door where we can change the speeds for all the motors, but normally we don't change those unless you contact me first and let me know. So, but basically, this is very simple to use. The two main things you have to remember when you're setting up a new board is you need to put in what your Z-axis mount position is going to be, and again, that's the distance from the pickup tube's home position down to the top of the component on the board. And that concludes how to operate the touchscreen.